Okay, once I've got that done, I can press enter here. It's good. And I might want to do note repeat. So I'm going to press the note repeat button. And now I have the ability to edit my note repeat. And you can see it right there. We have gate and swing. And we have toggle and momentary. Now this feature allows us to edit the note repeat and enable it so you can repeatedly trigger a sound by simply holding down that pad. And the sound will be re-triggered over and over at a specific rate. Now that means the time division sets up. My time division could be quarter notes or 16th notes. Well, that's how many times it'll repeat. It'll repeat according to how many 16 notes I've got set up in my tempo. So I could have a tempo of 120, and I could have a time division of 16th notes. Well, that repeated note or repeated drum sound, whatever that pad is triggering, will repeat over and over according to that time division and the tempo. So once we're set up here, we've got it set up, and we want to continue from here, I'll just press enter. It says toggle and momentary, and here we have just two different states. We have the toggle and we have the momentary. So toggle means, of course, that it's going to be locked in there with toggle, and we have momentary, where momentary is like just for that moment. Hit it and let your hand go, that's it. Now, I'll leave it there at momentary. Well, I hit my hand, let go, and toggle means I'll just hold it down, it'll continue to play. So, let's go back to here. I want to keep that. And I want to go to gate and swing. Now, the gate parameter describes the duration of the repeated note. So that means how long that note's going to be sustained for, how long that note's sustained for. And the swing parameter describes the swing offset of the even notes in the repeated sequence. Okay? Now I'll press enter right here, and you can see we have a gate of 50 and a swing of 58. And these are default settings for our MPD32. So be aware of that as well. So you can always, change your gate, change your swing, but go back to your default to compare the differences in your note repeat. Now, one thing I want to talk about also is this gate. Now, this gate thing really works well if the sound we're triggering has a long decay. So, for the gate effect to be perceived and heard properly, the sounds that I'm picking, that you pick, have got to have some sort of long decay to it, like a long 808 drum or something. And then when you turn this gate up or down, you will check out and see the differences between having a smaller or a larger number set for our gate. Now, if we were to add some swing to our original sequence, you will end up with a sequence that'll be a little bit ahead at certain notes. On the even notes, be a little bit ahead, so be aware of that. That means some notes will be displaced from where they would normally be at in the quantized function. They'll be a little ahead, so it gives a perception of almost swinging it, but you got to be careful in using swing. I can also edit the time division. So let me press my time division button here. Go back to preset, press time division, press edit. Now time division, you see it right there, and we have set time division 1. It's only one time division, so that's all we can set as one thing. And we have here the parameters for time division are right here. We have division, and that's it. See that? That's all we have. Now, how this works. The time division feature works in conjunction with note repeat. So when note repeat is enabled and a pad is held down on the MPD32, it will output the notes at the rate equivalent to the time division setting. Now, to change the time division setting, we just go here and we press time division, and we can select a new rate by pressing the corresponding button, whether it's the first S1 button for the quarter note or the last N1 button for 30-second note triplet. Once we're in, we have a default setting, which is the quarter note. And we can go up to a default setting of 30-second. I prefer to keep it at quarter. That's the best way to go. And we can do momentary or toggle here. Momentary or toggle, switch back and forth. As we showed you earlier how we can do that with our note repeat. Now, each preset can have a default time division setting, which is set every time the preset is loaded. So it's important to realize that once I press this button here, this time division button, and the preset's loaded, of course, my default setting is this quarter note. Now, if I go to here and say, and set it to quarter triplet, that means once I turn it on, my default setting, it starts off at quarter note triplet. So always, I prefer, and I think you should do too, is keep it to the quarter note. There's no need to change that unless you're doing some sort of, I don't know, maybe just using triplets for that particular setting, and you want to use this triplets everywhere you go in this song you're making, or probably the type of music you're making. So be aware of it, but start off with the quarter note. I sort of leave this setting the way it is because I can always change these settings later on if I have to.